We've all had somebody tell us, just take a deep breath when we're in the middle of a panic attack. And we've also said, okay, under our breath as we walk away from that person. If you have ever wondered why deep breathing doesn't do shit when you're anxious, I'm about to explain why and show you what to do instead. Sometimes deep breathing is actually the wrong tool for the job. Sometimes your nervous system doesn't need you to calm down. Sometimes it needs you to complete the activation that's already happening. Let me explain what that means. Hi, I'm Abby. I am a licensed massage therapist and somatic practitioner. And most importantly, somebody who has a lot of personal experience with anxiety. Before I learned so much about the nervous system, I used to use deep breathing as a response to treat my anxiety. And surprise, surprise, it just never helped. It just got worse. There's an important nuance here, which is that deep breathing isn't a bad thing. Deep breathing can absolutely be helpful, but nervous system regulation isn't about finding one magic technique. It's about finding what your nervous system needs in the state that it's in. Sometimes stillness and slowing down are exactly what your body needs. And sometimes your body is way too activated, way too overwhelmed for that to be accessible. The goal isn't to force your nervous system to calm down. The goal is to give it what it needs in order to feel safe. Imagine there's a toddler in front of you and she's having a full blown meltdown. She is screaming, she's crying, she's kicking, she's rolling around on the floor. And imagine you go down to her level and you say, "Hey, buddy, just take a deep breath in your nose and out your mouth." You know what's probably going to happen? And you know this if you've ever been around children. Um, you're going to be completely ignored. The screaming might get louder, the kicking might become more intense, and the whole situation is just going to get worse. Why is that? It's because their system is way too activated for a deep breath to be the thing that calms it down. Their body is ready to move and mobilize. What they need instead is to cry. They need to move their bodies. They need to shake. They might need to yell. They might need to be held and witnessed in this big feeling that they're having. Once they've settled enough after that wave has passed, then they might be able to feel that reassurance. Then a deep breath might naturally already emerge. And our nervous systems work the same way. So we have a couple of different nervous system states. We have one that's called dorsal, and this is when we're in like pure shutdown mode, depression, freeze, can't do anything. It's like when a possum pretends to be dead, its heart rate slows, its nervous system just kind of boom, shuts it off automatically, and that's how it keeps them safe. That's dorsal. Okay, sympathetic is the activation that we're talking about today. This is when your adrenaline increases, your heart rate increases, your muscles tense, your breathing changes, your body prepares to do something. This is high anxiety. This is your fight, your flight, your fawn response. The point of sympathetic activation is that your body is mobilizing to take action. It is getting ready to fight its way out of danger or to run away or to people please. And when you're in that state, your body needs some way to move through that activation. And that means movement. So this can look like shaking your body, shaking your hands and your legs and your arms, jumping, walking, running, patting your body so you can feel your body, yelling into a pillow, crying. The point isn't that you need to just get rid of your anxiety. The point is your body is mobilized, it's ready to go, it's ready to take action. So we need to give our bodies something to complete that response. We need to ask the question, what does my body need to do with all of this energy? Animals in the wild experience this sympathetic activation when their lives are in danger, when they are threatened. So imagine you have an animal that's being chased by a bear and it escapes the danger. It's alive, it's relatively safe. Its body is going to automatically, naturally just start shaking, start tremoring. It's not a conscious thought. on behalf of the animal, like, I think I need to shake now. It just happens. And this discharge of energy is called neurogenic tremoring. And this helps their nervous systems naturally transition out of that sympathetic state. So they're not walking around with all of this energy all the time. Because from a biological perspective, it takes a lot of energy to stay in this spot all the time. We as humans have a lot of conditioning around suppressing these kinds of responses. Don't cry, don't yell, don't make a scene, be still, calm down, hold it all together. We don't have time for this. So the body mobilizes, and then we're expected to do nothing with that activation. So we walk around looking like everything is fine, acting like everything is fine. But on the inside, we feel like this. Adrenaline is pumping, heart rate is up, muscles are constantly guarding. Your body doesn't know the difference between, ooh, this is a really stressful email from my boss. I don't know if my job is threatened, from I'm being chased by a bear. It just knows danger and threat or safety. So whether your perceived threat is money stress or chronic illness or chronic pain or relational issues, your body will respond with adrenaline, increased heart rate, chronic muscle guarding, and a system that is just ready to mobilize and fight, flee, or fawn at any moment. So if your body is screaming, danger, 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 and you respond to it with, everything is fine, take a deep breath, just calm down, that screams gaslighting to me. So here's what I want you to try instead. In the height of the moment, instead of responding to yourself and say, calm down, everything's fine, blah, 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 validate your experience. Say, oh my God, that was so scary. This is so stressful and overwhelming. It makes sense why I feel the way that I do. I don't need to be calm right now because something does feel really threatening to me. And I want to differentiate something here. Validation doesn't mean agreeing that you're actually in danger. It means acknowledging your body's experience. We're not trying to say, everything is ruined and we're gonna die, which it's okay if you are saying that. But what we want to say, what our goal is that simply, I see you. This is a lot. So once you've validated this experience, you need to move. You need to do something. Play around with what works for you. Shaking might be the thing, jumping might be the thing. If you're chronically ill or have chronic pain, then some types of movement might not be accessible for you. Something you could probably do is clench your fists, is squeeze your muscles, is do a little growl. That actually does diffuse some of that sympathetic energy. If you have anger or anxiety stuck in here and your body needs to fight, show that you're ready to fight and defend yourself. Sometimes you just need a really good cry. Sometimes you need to have a space where you're alone, where you're by yourself, where it's quiet and it's just for you. The point isn't about finding the perfect exercise. The goal is to start noticing, what does my body seem to need to do right now? So to recap, we need to validate our experience. Say, oh, yeah, this is so overwhelming. I see why this is so overwhelming. Number 2, complete that activation. Do something with that energy. Move your body. Push something. Growl. Yell into a pillow. And number 3 is where we can actually bring in that reassurance. Bring in the gentle reality check of, okay, we are safe now. Everything is going to be okay. We don't have to do this on our own. And then from there, once that energy is discharged, then we can take a deep breath. And sometimes this might just naturally happen. But if your nervous system is still highly activated, it's probably not going to do a good job at taking in that reassurance, at taking in that cleansing breath that reminds you that you're safe. You have to wait for your system to settle, and then you're able to take that in. I think it's important to talk about trauma when we're having a conversation about deep breathing. For those with the trauma history, sometimes stillness can be incredibly activating. It can feel really dangerous, really unsafe. The dangerous event might have happened when you were frozen, when you were completely unable to fight, to flee, to find your way out of the situation. You might have learned to become very still in order to stay safe. Deep breathing may have been something you were doing while you were waiting for the bad thing to end. So at that point, stillness does not equal safety, does not equal calm, because your nervous system learned if I stop moving, that means I'm vulnerable. That means I get hurt. That means something bad happens to me. What does this look like in real life? It means being a busybody. You're working all the time, you can't sit still, you have difficulty resting. When you're alone with your thoughts and things get quiet, this gets really loud and you get really uncomfortable. You feel the need to fill your space with extra background noise all the time. You may have perfectionistic tendencies and need to control things around you. You may feel really hypervigilant. You know what's going to happen before it happens. You might have chronic muscle tension. That means your muscles are guarding and your body is preparing to fight, to flee, to do something. Basically, your nervous system is doing anything it possibly can to never feel how it did back then. So if back then stillness equaled unsafety, it's going to spend the rest of its life moving. And this explains why when people say, just relax, that can feel insulting. That can feel completely inaccessible to some folks. The point that I want to drive home here is that we cannot achieve nervous system regulation by controlling or suppressing the nervous system. We regulate by expression, by movement, by giving the nervous system what it needs in order to reinstate the feeling of relative safety. And what creates safety in the body is different for every single person because we all have a different trauma history, we all have different physiology, we all wake up every day with a different nervous system state, and then minutes later, you have a different nervous system state, and then 5 minutes later, you have a different one. So sometimes reinstating safety does look like taking a deep breath and taking a nap and resting. Sometimes it's movement. Sometimes it's crying. Sometimes it's connection. And sometimes it's simply being witnessed in our big emotions. So if you've ever tried deep breathing and if you've done it 1,000 times and you've wondered, why is this not working? Just know that you are not broken. There is nothing wrong with your nervous system. In fact, your nervous system is brilliant. It has been doing a brilliant job at keeping you safe. Your nervous system probably just needs something different. You don't have to force yourself to calm down. You can start by listening to what your body is actually asking for. If you're a young adult living with chronic illness or chronic pain, I've created a free workshop for you called You Are Not Failing at Healing, where we will dive deeper into why your body responds the way that it does and what it actually means to work with your nervous system instead of against it. The link to that free workshop is in the description. Okay, thank you for watching. You're amazing. I love you. You're doing such a good job. I'm so proud of you. Oh my God. Until next time.